Hello and welcome, this is Honeysuckle bringing you the player updates for episode 3 of the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge for December 2017. Jumping right in, we begin with Wandering Nerd. He emerged from his hidey hole to start collecting mushrooms and still looking for the missing mansion when suddenly there's an earthquake. When it settles down, he looks up to find the mansion has suddenly appeared in front of him. Great bit of editing there, I highly recommend watching his video. He approaches the mansion and checks it from the outside, but as night falls, he heads into a nearby cave to get better prepared for tackling the mansion in his next episode. He does find diamonds along with gold and more iron. Next we have Captain Hook 5150. He starts off making a chest plate from his freshly smelted iron, checks on his wheat, which is being very stubborn about growing, then he heads back down looking for coal. He builds a little staircase up to poke his head into the room above him, finding a couple skeletons to deal with, and looks into a few more rooms, until a family of zombies chase him back down to his base room and get the better of him. So that ends his run this time, but we hope to see him back next month. Next we have MP Plays. He starts off by heading for the mansion, having a few lag problems that I hope don't work against him once he gets inside. Once he arrives at the mansion, he peeks in a few windows, and then heads down a cave to get more iron. Then a skeleton chases him off once he realizes he's going to need more food, so he heads out to find a pond to fish in. He breaks into the mansion and puts in doors to seal the room off from mobs and sets up a small base to get his iron smelted. Then he explores the mansion and starts lighting up some rooms, taking on a Vindicator head-on and barely surviving. He heals up and takes on a second Vindicator, which unfortunately gets in 2 hits on him and ends his run for this month. Great job though, this was an extremely difficult challenge for your first time, but we're looking forward to seeing you back next month. Next we have JavaDad. He starts off next to the lava pool where he builds his nether portal, then makes an iron chestplate to complete his armor. Then he takes some mushroom stew to heal up before lighting up the portal, but before stepping through he takes a quick look around to find diamonds, 9 of them. He makes a diamond sword and steps through the portal where he collects some quartz and magma blocks while looking for a fortress. He doesn't spend too much time before heading back home. Next we have the musical episode of The Singing Dragon Feathers. She begins working her way up out of her mines to build a little house around the top of her hidey hole before heading back down to gather more coal and iron. Still singing the whole episode. Next we have Pineleaf Needles. He begins by heading up to encounter a skeleton who decides to take refuge in his hidey hole. After taking care of that skelly, he heads over to check out the mansion, where a baby zombie rushes out to greet him. He then heads in to start clearing out and lighting up rooms. He chooses one of the rooms to use as a little base and gets the gate put in just in time as a Vindicator comes by. Then he starts a mine shaft down from his room to begin collecting resources. And then we have Clan Half Dude. He heads outside the mansion to gather wood to turn into torches, then goes back in to keep clearing rooms until an evoker sends vexes at him, causing him to beat a hasty retreat. He regroups quickly and heads back in to keep clearing rooms on the 2nd floor, then heads down to clear out the 1st floor, taking out several Vindicators before the episode ends with a close call. Next we have Grandma's Gone Gaming. She heads outside to quickly cut down some trees and collect dirt, and then gets prepared before heading back in to clear out more rooms. She has a slow but steady system firmly in place and it's working perfectly. Great job! Then we have the duo of Max Ryder and Scody Garbitas. They continue gathering resources, splitting up to get more done, getting both wood and minerals, as well as more mushrooms for food, teaming back up to make adjustments to their base entrance, before both heading back down to explore the cave for more goodies. And then we have 2 mere mortals. They continue their journey to the mansion and immediately go in to start clearing out rooms. Then they start digging down and find more iron and a cave to explore, before smelting up some iron to make them both a pair of pants. Now for the trio of Deadcraft 73, Zloy XP, and the 2 piggies. They start off still in the cave, smelting up iron for armor, and then go back to exploring the cave as they work their way back up to the surface to cut down a few trees and decide what to do. As night falls, they head to the mansion where they get on the roof to take care of those boated Vindicators and boat another one before going in a window and starting to clear out rooms. Next we have Lorelei. She emerges from underground hoping to find pumpkins. She cuts down some woods before trying to find the mansion, and she does find some pumpkins on her way. She peeks in the front door but decides to take refuge in a cave for the night, finding plenty of iron to finish her armor, and she plans on making an iron golem, so we'll see how that works out. Next we have RSM Alec. He is still clearing out rooms and tagging on the Vindicators. Once the top floor is cleared, he heads down the stairs and starts working on the 2nd floor. He is getting a lot done and quickly. Next we have Dark Age Man. He sets off to find the mansion, traveling across the treetops, but got a little lost, and after night fell, a skeleton had him cornered at a pool of water, and he was unable to get away in time. Sadly, that's the end of his challenge for this month. Next we have John Fell 92. He is still down in his mines looking for coal and finding more diamonds. After finding enough coal for a stack of torches, he heads back up into the mansion to keep clearing out rooms. He completes the first floor, then heads upstairs where he finds an evoker he avoids, but takes out the 2 nearby vindicators. After heading back up, he rushes the evoker and takes him out. Great job! And he has that totem of undying. Next we have Bad Senator. He starts out in the forest still collecting some mushrooms and looking for caves. He finally finds a huge system to check out, gathering resources and finding a zombie spawner. He successfully loots that spawner and continues exploring the cave, finding diamonds and gathering obsidian at the end of the episode. Next we have MackGMania. He's inside the mansion still clearing out rooms, finding a loot chest with a golden apple, and taking care of a few vindicators before heading out onto the roof to light it up. Then he collects some wood to get prepared to clear more rooms, which he jumps right in to do until the sun rises. Next we have Bakerbelle Games. She grabs some coal and heads on up to hunt for spiders for string and gather some seeds to plant and to lure some chickens, finding eggs laying conveniently around. Back at her base she plants some pumpkins, then heads back down to collect her smelted iron and continue mining down to collect more resources, namely coal and skelly arrows. Last but not least we have Original Jr. He has a great new intro on his episode, and then begins with getting prepped to tackle the mansion, getting a shield and gathering a few more resources before going above ground at night looking for skeletons to kill for arrows. He heads back to craft up some armor and get some food ready, and then heads into the mansion and starts clearing it out. Okay, that's everyone so far this month. We do have a couple people who haven't posted up to date yet, but hopefully we can catch them next time. As always, if I missed someone, mispronounced your name, or left anything out, just leave a comment below and I'll correct it in the next video. Until then, bye!